I just want to know what your take is on it, because, you know, we all have our own personal visions for, you know, how Ignis might live out his life, but what's your take on it?
That's very interesting. You know, my first thing was like, you know, what if it's always a relationship, rather like Alfred and Bruce Wayne? But I mean, I would imagine that. I would imagine Ignis is always going to. I almost sort of seeing him putting himself out to pasture, like on a ranch somewhere, and becoming a man of letters and reading a lot, and being called in to advise whenever he was needed. I think he would always have an amazing relation. I mean, the princeling is a son to him. You know, you can't undo that. Like, yeah, I think he would always be just out of sight enough, but always close enough to get there in an instant. And however that sort of took form, I think that would be it. Yeah, he's the father. He's the father that Nock actually doesn't have anymore, and he sort of embodies all that came to Kingdom. You know, all of the old school. He's sort of a bridging gap between Regis and that echelon, and then the new lads that are coming up. And he's got all that knowledge and all that experience, and he'll sit them down and recount the stories. And if Noctis were not to be quite in his clear and perfect power, if I would imagine, if delusions of grandeur suddenly took hold, which sometimes happens with these great people, I would imagine Ignis would very gently but very firmly to pull them right back into the correct headspace. Yeah, that's sort of the realm that I think he would have. But I imagine him almost on a ranch somewhere, Ignis, not in the city, reading, thinking, watching, listening. And
Watching?
Watching? Oh, yes.
You said
Oh, God.
Well, you know, this is the far-flung future. You don't know what levels of perception there are out there. But with a transport quick enough to get there, stat to help at any time.
Thank you for your answer.
I wanted to thank you for yesterday for being very open with you and all the guys to read the script I brought.
Pleasure. Thanks for bringing it.
That was amazing.
Thanks for bringing it. That was a great idea. Thank you.
That was awesome. Have you ever seen the prologue before that? Have you ever seen that script before that?
No, I hadn't. I was supposed to.
The verdict's released as a PDF for all of us to read.
Yeah, it's free.
It was a bonus that they gave out in Japan.
Wow.
They never recorded a full English version of it, so instead they gave us a translated script of it.
Fantastic.
So to see you guys step up, like in full costume, and we never thought we'd get a chance to hear a voice in English was an absolute pleasure. Yeah, as the person who posted part of that online, I'm telling you, people loved it. You guys gave so much love.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for that report back. Thank you. That's great. Thank you so much. It's brilliant. Great idea.
Thank you.
I have more of a frivolous question.
Yeah.
Out of all of Ignis's clothing, do you have like a certain set that you personally like or would wear?
You should say that because I just wore a set that
I mean, like that's your absolute favorite. Is that it?
Yeah, no, do you know what I really do quite like? And it's because of the Englishman in me. Is his sort of grey and white pinstripe.
My favorite outfit.
You know.
Very dapper.
Gloves. Yeah, he's rocking it.
He's a dapper man.
He's a dapper man. He watches Dave Gandy.
Oh my goodness.
Designers?
At the back there. Daenerys.
Yes. Just a quick question. Do you enjoy cooking as much as Ignis does?
Well, you know, I think I'm a pretty good cook, except I'm very lazy about it. I'm a vegetarian, so I've learned over the years, because often you go places and there's not a good vegetarian selection. So to sort of regard food as just fuel, often. So it's like, so long as it's clean and good fuel, I'll have it and throw it together really quick. But spending lots of time in the kitchen, I think if I ate everything, I'd probably really be into it, like, you know. But there's a lot that I don't eat, sort of for moral reasons. So I'm just like, you can only make an egg so exciting. And toast, yeah, toast. I do a great burnt toast.
Are you vegetarian because of what you talked about earlier, with some like your spirituality beliefs tying into Indian and Eastern?
Yeah, it came sort of that way round, but since then, it's not just a moral thing. It's really an economic and a climate thing, and I'm sure we all know. And for those that don't, really, to raise one cow, that is hundreds of thousands of gallons of water, and the amount of grain needed to feed one cow is a huge patch of land that often is deforested in order to get that grain. Most of our grain supplies, in the world, are to feed livestock. So if you take that same acre of land that you could use to raise one head of calf, and you planted vegetarian meals, you could get thousands of vegetarian meals out of the same space. So economically, it makes no sense. And by the way, climate change is real. If you haven't been watching the news, I mean, if you haven't experienced it, as I know a lot of you have on this coast, and it's due to a degree to the amount of methane put out by all the livestock. By the way, the amount of methane that animals poop out is more of a problem than all of world transport combined in terms of heating up this atmosphere. So every time you have a burger, and everyone thinks, oh, we can't do anything about climate change. We can't do it, it's too big of a problem. No. Every time you eat a meal, you are voting on the environment. If you choose a slab of meat, you've chosen to heat up the environment. That is science. So we all should think about that. And I'm not saying don't eat meat. I've never said that. My thing is eat less beef. Hashtag eat less beef. Because we all can have less. We don't have to not have it, but we can all have less. And by the way, if you reduce, why did I read this? It was in the UK just before I left. They said if you reduce your red meat intake to less than 4 meals a week, you are 50% less likely to get colon cancer. That's what the scientists in the UK said, a whole broad spectrum of scientists. So if you can just bring down your red meat intake, you're helping your body, like let alone the environment. So there's a myriad of reasons why not eat as much meat. I never say don't eat it at all, but just eat less and you'll be helping.
Hi, so I just had a quick statement to make, really. I read all you guys' letters. I've been kind of working up the courage to say it out loud all weekend.
Yeah.
But then you were talking about karma, and that I'm here kind of because this feels like the end of kind of a karmic cycle for me. I'm the one who saw you and Ray's thing on Tuesday and flew out from from Colorado.
Yeah.
Because exactly a year ago this weekend, I was in the ER because I tried to kill myself. And I want to thank you and everyone in this room because the Final Fantasy fandom is why I'm here, basically. And for exactly the reasons you were talking about. Everyone is cool, everyone is, you like what you like, you ship what you like, you write what you like, whatever, it's great. And we support you, and it's meant everything to me.
That is so awesome. And thank you for being brave enough to say that to this group. And I noticed almost instantaneously 4 hands on you. And you're all right. And that's awesome. That's so brave of you to say that. I'm so glad that you're feeling better. I'm so glad that you're part of this family. Brilliant. And keep talking to people. It's like Keith mentioned the other day. You're feeling glum. And look, we all do, and to varying degrees. Look, I know that sometimes it's very radical how bad people feel. Sometimes it's less bad. But just keep talking. Always have people around and go to them and talk to them. And eat healthy and sleep a lot. Meditate.
Don't do Noctics.
Yeah. Noctis, do Ignis. Get to bed at the right time. And talk to people.
And we're happy you're here.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. That's very, very brave and very, very cool of you.
Thanks.
I'm glad that you did. We've got 2 minutes, so this lady over here with the long arm double. Yeah.
Okay, we've all been talking about the things we kind of nerd about, like Final Fantasy and stuff. What do you nerd about?
What do I know about?
Yeah, what do you completely fanboy about?
I'm a total comic book geek. Comics and movies. And although it's very unpopular, well, you know, not unpopular, but it's just not really. Somebody said it. They said I was watching a documentary on India, and the one guy said, you know, in the West, people are like sports star mad. You know, like what about the sports star? And he said, in India, we're God mad. We love God. You know, and I like that. I think I'm a bit of a spirituality nerd as well. I like finding out about religions and like how, you know, all the similarities, because there's more similarities than dissimilarities if you think about it. It's all been sort of, it spins out in these terrible ways, obviously, but I think underlying it all is sort of the same message. So I'm a bit of a spirituality nerd as well. Yeah.
Now, DC or Marvel?
Oh, now there's great. There's a lot of good to be said for both, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyone else? Yes.
Between all the characters you play, Baldur, Lord Bothwell, Papa Hood, Ignis, is there one trait that they all have in common?
Huh.
All dapper.
Yeah.
They're all
Papa Hook was, you know, he was a bit of a tavern sort of like dude, but yeah.
charming.
Oh, that's nice of you to say. Thank you. Yeah. I guess that they chose me for my Englishness, obviously. But it's not the only sort of accent that I do. I've done movies with an American accent. I've done movies with a South African accent. The Englishness. I think the Americans are a little bit fascinated by English actors at the moment, which I'm very grateful for. Thank you. Keep it up. Well done. So I think there's an Englishness about them all, obviously, and a sort of maybe a precision. Like there's a, you know, Americans are very good. Like when they act, they're like, you know, in their bodies. They're like, you know, English is sort of, you know, they sort of stand. And I mean, they just look for a bit of difference with the English actors. So that's probably why I bring a bit of stand and deliver.
When you were studying theater, which method were you taught under? Stanislavski?
Yeah, we had a bit of everything.
Okay.
Really. Yeah. How about you?
Stanislavski.
Stanislavski.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
And Uta Hagen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think who said it? I think it was Pacino or somebody like that. They just said, or was it? He said, you know, whatever works, that's the method.
That's true.
You know, so it's great that you get a broad base. Keep reading. We always should keep reading, and then just cherry pick like what resonates with us. You know, take a few classes through there with trusted practitioners. There's a lot of charlatans out there. You know, but yeah. Americans are amazing. There's amazing natural actors. Like it seems that often they don't necessarily train, and I see Americans up on the screen all the time, and sometimes I'm just like, how did you know how to do that? And you know, in England we're very trained, very sort of like, so that there's, it's funny. It's very, very interesting.
I just love studying learning techniques. I just think it's really, really interesting.
Yeah.
That's it, guys. Yeah, we've got a 1:30 panel. It's a voice actors extravaganza. I still don't know what that means. I'm sure we'll have some fun. Neither do you. And then I think there's a signing later, so I hope to see some of your faces again soon. Thanks for coming. Oh, are you kidding? I love it. Yay. I really do love it. I'm not saying that.